All right, hello everyone. So it's Monday. Hope you guys have a great week already. After hopefully good weekend, let's take a look now. I've put all the hours down here. As you know, they're already in the members area, so it's all good. Now, what we've got for gold is a little tricky this week. It's a new week, so we have to look up here. As you can see, we still have some room to go. Okay, but we should come back and then go up is what I'm thinking. If we keep going up, okay, this healthier way to do it is to come back and go. Okay, but it may not do that because we're on an up move. We got room to go. Okay, you can see the weekly there, 77, 3067. So where can we come, and buy at? So there are two places that we can really buy at. Now, because we've got 3 swing days, one after the other this week, we have to be careful. So what can happen is this. If we stay in this range, this is the range, right? If we stick around here, okay, there could be stop sweeps, no problem. Okay, I don't mind stop sweeps going up and down, blah blah blah, but the market keeps pulling back. Okay, then we should pull back. Okay, so this is a range which we'll need to keep in mind. Now, because that's the impulse, we're in a rectangle. Buying the lows are okay, but we've got the gap. Okay, so sooner or later, this will need to come back. Hopefully, okay, this is what our scenario can be. If we pull into a swing day from the lows, we'd want to go up. Okay, now here, as you can see, there are no gaps here, right? This is all filled out. These are all filled kind of bars in. Okay, so worst case scenario, we should be, worst case is here. Okay, so I don't mind marking this level in. This is a good place. Okay, is there maybe a slight there? We could do this. Okay, so this is one zone. Right, not a problem. And the other one is this zone here. So we should dip down. And I don't mind coming into 2,925 either. Okay, so why? Because I'll mark that in for you. That's the breakout there. Okay, 2,925. So this is not a bad zone. What we could do is just extend this down here. So between 2,925 and 35, we're okay. If the market comes down here, I'll be happy to buy. The other one is going to be this bar here, okay, because this is where the market also, broke out. So I'm just going to put this in here, all right? And this is all good, and there's just a slight gap there, which will tap into there if they do want to close it. So if at the swing days, we are high and it's a trading hour, and if you want to sell, I do it with a smaller lot size. Remember the motto: if we're doing it against the trend, you want to take a smaller position, okay, because it's a bit more tricky. Or you can say to yourself, I'm going to go with the trend. I'm all good with that, because from the lows we can keep pushing up as well. But this gap, I'd like to see it close. I'm not going to underline the weekly pivot because that's already a given. Okay, so if I've got a line here from the system, okay, you guys already need to take care of it. Okay, so if you've learned from me, you know what I'm talking about. And if not, this could dip down a little bit more because of the gaps there. This is why these green rectangles are also important. If we do pull back, it's going to be a buying opportunity. All right, so just match the swing day, swing hour, and that's kind of thing it. If you want to sell from the highs, like I said, on the swing days, because we've got one after the other, it's going to be a little tricky, because on the daily, you can see this zone is like this. It's got, on the one hand, it's got room to go up. On the other hand, it's got room to close gap. And that gap closure is there. It's at 2,941. Let me just do this. And here is the other one, 2,922. Okay, so that's why that 2,925 for me is like a zone which we need to kind of like, look out for. Okay, and that's why. So I can now get rid of this one, not a problem. And this we can still keep pushing, as you can see, or that one there, pretty much. Okay, so don't buy the highs. If you want to sell the highs on a swing day, swing hour, yes you can. We got room to pull back, do it with a smaller lot size. Okay, let's take a look at the euro dollar. Euro dollar weekly. Now remember, last week we had swing days there. This week's swing day, today is a swing day on this one, so I don't mind selling this off either for a retracement. Remember, we had Tuesday swing day, Wednesday, Thursday came down, Friday was a swing day, and Friday it made the PST target, remember? Okay, if you watch the videos. Now we're on a new day, so PST situation changed. Selling the highs to push down, I think, is okay to do so. All right, so we are in that zone. If you want to do it on a swing day, you can. What should this do? Maybe we'll go up and stop sweep or whatever, but at the end of the day, that's what you should be doing. Now today is the 17th, and I'm just going to check out the important hours. All right, so 9:30 is not a bad hour. Okay, 9:30 is not a bad hour. 12:15 to 1 o'clock is not a bad hour. Okay, so 9:30, 12:15 to 1 is not a bad hour at all. If the market does turn around, it should take us into, definitely it should take us into 10 past 4, 10 past 5, which is also good. If we turn around there, it should take us into 10:25, which is also fine. Okay, so it's not bad at all actually. The hours are like pretty nice and neat. So what you can do here is 9:30 is there. Okay, so this will be a zone, and then you've got you got 11 o'clock, but I'm thinking this 12:15 is the better one to go for. 12:15. Okay, so this time zone here, all right, 12:15. Now that's a bit of a big time zone, but it's not a problem. Why? Because we're looking at price. Okay, so if you want to check your price on the euro dollar too, what you want to do is look for a place where you'd like to sell, and that is looking like this bar here. So if we end up somewhere high in this zone at a trading hour and you want to sell, I don't mind doing it. Stop sweeping this zone, stop sweeping this and then selling off is okay. Coming up here and then selling off is also okay. These are all okay. Okay, if it goes up, stop, sweep, sell off, you know, going into here, stop, sweep, sell off is all good. It's a swing day, and then you can follow that through. Okay, and then obviously, like I said, that 10 past 4 is going to be here, and then we've got 10 past 5, so that 1 hour period for us, and if the market turns there, it should take us into 10:25. 10:25 is there. All right, that's true for anything you're trading. Let's take a look at SP 500. Now it's a new week, obviously. Market's down, that's fine. Closure here, there's a bit of a room. Now the SP 500, we've got Monday for a swing day. So, you know, maybe we'll have a bit of a breather before going down again, because that's the monthly, right? We're not going to crash down into it. You know, it's going to wave down on the daily. So let's take a look here. This is the weekly. On the weekly, it's done those targets, as you can see, but on the monthly we've got room to go. Now on the daily, this is a bit of a breakout. So remember, yes, Friday was a swing day, the market bought, so that's actually good for us. Monday being a swing day as well can really push it into there. Okay, the goodbye kiss is 30. That's 5586, 5586. 5586 is there. So if the market dips down into here, that's your manipulation for the breakout. It's all good. All right, so let me just redo this. Let me just template this. All right, so here we are. Okay, so 5586, let's draw that again. That's it there. Okay, so coming down a little bit is okay. Not a lot of gapping here. Friday being a swing day, these was trading hours were here. So if we dip down again and you want to buy it, I don't mind. That could be like taking us up into the next swing days further down in the week. Okay, so let's just do that. All right. Okay. Now then, let's see. I'm just checking the targets. 42.5701, which is fine because I remember I drew this before. This is the breakout zone, and boom. See how this was like, remember I said this is going to break down, okay? Not just because of the PSD, but technically as well. You see how many times it dipped into it and it just wouldn't go back up, okay? It just once, twice, 3 times, and it's just like, mucking around there. So this was bound to break out. So now retesting this zone is going to be the way to go. So market coming back into this green bar. I'm going to extend it to that one because that's the manipulation. And I'm just going to take this. We don't have to keep it big. So we should pull into there. Okay, which is fine, which is where our targets are anyway. So that 5717, 4245, those zones 5701, 5735, maybe 5750. That's all good. So when we get into that zone, if we do, that'd be good because Friday was a swing day. Now Monday's a swing day, so we're kind of like following up. So the pullback to go into there, and then on a swing day to sell back down again is looking okay. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Okay, so basically, match your technical analysis on a small time frame as well. All of you in the club know how to do technical analysis. Okay, I ask everyone if you know technical analysis and money management. Those of you, some of you took coaching, some of you haven't taken coaching, but I always ask because, it's without knowing those things, you're not going to be very successful. So here we are on US 30. Now let's take a look weekly. Now on Dow Jones, I got Monday. All right, so Monday is a swing day, which is fine. Let's see where we can be at. Now let's take a look. Now last week we didn't have Friday for this one. Okay, we did have SP 500, but we didn't have this one. So I can now let me not that one. It's this one. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay, let's get rid of all that. Let's kind of like freshen up. Now this is the long wick. Okay, there's still gap there. If we go up, we still want to sell. We want to come down here. Okay, so let's see how much we can do that. There are a few places to come back into, and one would be this, and the goodbye kiss on that would be there. That's your goodbye kiss, right? And that's your manipulation bar there. So we're kind of like in that zone. That's the goodbye kiss, and you got targets at 40, 41, 42. So that's 41,953. I'm just gonna let's just do this template. Okay, it's the same template. I'm just refreshing it because I've got a bunch of timing lines here vertically. Right. All right, so from here onwards, let's take a look at the daily targets there. 40. So that'll be your first one. 41,953. 41,953. let's say 953 there. All right, and there are a bit more, but that's the first one, so just mark them in, right? If you're trading this one, 42,078, 42,018, 42,145. So that's your target zone there, which is pretty much in this zone here, right? Okay, that's 42,563. Okay, but we want to go with the PST, but this is the zone. Now, because it'll take a few days, the PST may change, which is fine. Okay, and if you're using your ATAM strategy, you can also do this from top to top. Okay, and that'll be the way to go. And then you see that's why the targeting is there, where they sold before and your targeting zone. All right, so where should you get in there? Well, if you want to get in there, maybe you can get in slightly lower here. Okay, when New York opens, we might do a powerful move into 10 past 5, which is fine, and then that could take us up with a surprise as well into an adjustment price at 10.25. Now, because Monday is a swing day, it could also end up being a low. Okay, if it does end up being a low in New York session, okay, we want to obviously buy it like here. Okay, so if we dip down, want to go up again, but if it keeps going up, obviously they're going to sell it somewhere, so just be mindful. Okay, just be mindful. We want to get in there, so want to like chuck a Yui at a trading hour. Okay, chuck a Yui means a U-turn, so hopefully we'll close these gaps, because you see this is pretty volatile and it made a few gaps. So if we dip down, or even if we're around here, going upwards, it's also fine. To do that, it'll give you enough to cover the trade and your stop loss. Okay, NASDAQ. So with NASDAQ as well, now NASDAQ does have Monday for a swing day. So both SP 500 Monday, Dow Jones, Bitcoin, Euro dollar, gold. All right, so everybody's hot on Monday, which is fine. Let's take a look. NASDAQ, we're on the weekly. Now this is a good zone, 37.38, I guess, 19.378, 19.609. Okay, so these zones, that 37.38, could be the place where the market can pick up. On the monthly, as you can see, it's done that. Okay, so what we're looking for, we're not looking for a reversal in trend, obviously, but we're looking for a place to retest that break zone. And that's the break zone. Same thing here. Remember, I said this should break down because of the gaps too. As you can see, it's kind of like hasn't filled it in yet. We still need to dip down here. So impulse wave going sideways up. It's either going to turn into a channel, okay, or we're going to have an ABC up and then a sell-off. So we might look for a channel up, U-turn, a pennant, but do it on a swing day, swing hour. So match the price formation to your swing day and hour, and it'll be a bingo trade. So do it that way. Targets up here at 39 if you're trading, 19,911, 19,928, 20,027. So that's your target zone. If the market comes back to a good buy kiss, 29, that's your 19,161. So 19,161, 19,161 is there. Okay, so that's a good buy kiss. Stop sweep, I'm okay with that. If it does it, I'm going to get rid of these. Okay, those were done. Let's keep it clean. So if we dip down, stop sweep or whatever is all good. Not a lot of gapping here, just a small one here. So if it does, maybe it will. But like I said, it's a swing day. So if we end up low somewhere at trade hours, going up is okay. Because the trend is down, you're going to be against the trend. Remember, when we're doing something against, first suss it out, and then, don't go in heavy. Okay, and then, like I said, those targets will be your target zone there. I will just refresh this and just make it a simple chart. As you can see, I'm not using like very complicated stuff. I just have the price indicator. The timing, as you know, is what we're doing, and that's basically it. The rest is just everything I taught you at the coaching program, so it's all good. All right, so a bit of a pullback, filling in levels, and then pushing up is okay. I like that PST breakout, so I don't want to be standing in front of any PST breakout. When I pull back, would like to take the opportunity to go back in. You can also, if you got your PST, you can also measure it with that too. Okay, you see how that measurement from top, okay, that's your top there. Okay, that's your pretty much top, bottom coming into 37.5. Exactly the stuff we've learned. All right. You can also do that if you're using your ATM. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and call it a day. Now with Bitcoin, we're in mumbo jumbo land. All right, it's in between levels. And because it's in between levels, you're going to have to be careful. You're going to either have to take a step back and let it pan out, or let's see, because this had a Saturday swing day and Monday's also a swing day, so a bit of a drama. You see, that's your Saturday. Sunday market went down. Are we going to keep selling? Okay, or are we going to go up, fill in the gap, and then do what we need to do? Now on the weekly, we're in between levels, but last week you can see that's a good buy reaction. If we dip down into 41, 80,166, 80,166. This is one zone where we can pick up from. Okay. So if the market comes back into that weekly level, going back up is okay. Same is true for 80,243. Okay, and on the daily, that's a resistance. Okay, so what we can do is this: if it breaks above 45, which is 84,013, 84,013 is going to be here. If we break above this, okay, I'm going to get rid of this. Going up is okay. All right. So if you want to buy it, it's okay to buy. Just make sure you cover yourselves quick. And why? Because we're in between levels. This is a chop zone. It's not the low, it's not the high. Okay, so if I tighten this up a little bit, you can see, we're like in a little bit of a chop zone. Okay, so what you need to do is, if you want to buy, I don't mind. Okay, I think it's okay to buy. You can do it with a smaller lot size and push it into 50. There, you really need to take cover at 86,127. Let's say 86,127 there. All right, so somewhere around there, and so on. All right, so I'm all okay to do that. Also, if it comes down and you want to buy, I'm okay to do that as well. But I wouldn't do any buying unless we have a breakout. It needs to break out, pull back into a trading hour to go up. Okay. For this one, if it dips down into a weekly PST level and it's a trading hour, then I'm okay. I'm okay because it's retesting and then we're going up. That 30 level is 74,615. If it breaks below that weekly, don't stand in front of it because it will go to 74. Well, it may go to 74, and that would really kind of terrorize you. So don't do anything crazy. That 74 is down there. This is also a level where the market can bounce off at, which is 38. 80,684. Look, 80,684 is also just there. All right, 80,684 is there. All right, so this zone is support. If it breaks below this, don't stand in front of it because you never know what will happen with PST targeting. It could just go into 74,600 and then that'll turn into a pear-shaped trade. All right, so be mindful, time and price together. Have a good day.